Alrighty, so we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Karina Harrell. She is the executive director of Option to Change, a nonprofit local here in Atlanta, and she is doing some wonderful things in the community, and she's doing it right. So I wanted to be able to share her story with you so that you can learn some best practices and know what it takes to actually start a successful nonprofit. So Ms. Harrell, talk to us about Option to Change. Tell us your mission and how you got started.
Option to Change is a nonprofit for single parents. We assist single parents with restoration of family, community, and advancement of education. How we started is about 2 years ago. I went out with the church and we went to feed the homeless, and it was something new to me, but I said, okay, you need to get out and try some new things and try and help people out, because that's always what I had a passion to do. So I went out and I met a young lady, and she said, well, I have 5 children and I can't afford GED testing, but I can't get a good job without GED, and because I didn't finish high school, it's really hard for me to take care of my kids. And she was like, well, my food stamps and things like that, I've had them for the term that they will allow me to have them. So, because she had expired on the term there, they wouldn't allow her to get any more assistance, which means she's about to lose her Section 8 because you have to work so many hours now. That's the state requirement.
Really?
Yeah, to get that. And then she couldn't get food stamps, so she said, my kids are going to go hungry. There's nothing that I could do. And it was at that point that I said, okay, well, I'm going to help you. And it started out something that I just did out of my pocket. Okay, well, I'm going to help you because I hate, at that time I was a single mother, and I hate to see a mother that is really, really trying and just can't find a way out. So I felt like it was my job to go in there and just kind of help her out and see what I could get done. So I said, okay, I'm not a teacher. I went to school for business. I have a bachelor's in business, but let's see what we can get done. So I called around to see if there was any nonprofits that would help her out being a single parent. And there were. They said, well, we can pay her utilities and things like that, but, we can only pay the past balance. So I said, okay, is there anybody that can help her pay for this rent or a portion of the rent? They said, no, we don't have that. So we went to the places for the utilities, and they said, okay, well, our budget is gone. So here we are. We went everywhere around. She had no church that she went to, no church family, so nobody to help her out. And I said, okay, well, I'll start doing this. I'll start taking a portion out of my check, and I'll help you out.
Right.
And we'll make it together. We'll work this out some type of way. So, I went into her house. I went to Walgreens. The people at Walgreens were really nice. They helped me out. They would call me on the discount, so I got her the little electric stove. I said, your kids can't take a bath with hot water, but you can boil it.
Okay.
And we're going to boil some water, and we're going to do some different things, and that way you can cook. And I went and bought her grocery, and I went to they have this little thing in Douglasville on Saturdays where you can go and get fresh produce, and it's at a discount, so it's not the same as what you would get in the grocery store. Plus, it's natural. People grow this in their farm.
Okay.
So I said, okay, we'll get the food from there, and then we'll just go to Walmart and get some meat. So that's how we did that. And then when it came up and it was time for a house note, I didn't have enough money to pay it.
Right.
So I said, okay, well, I have to figure out something. So I went and talked to our landlord and said, well, I can give you half now. Can I give you half in 2 weeks?
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I just wanted somebody to come and talk to me about it.
Okay.
She just, dodged me and didn't go and do anything about it. So, I was going to evict her. But now that you're coming and you'll say that you'll do a payment plan, then I'll keep her in there. And that's how we did it. Okay. And then I started tutoring her, and she would come out, and I would tutor her at the library. And then after I tutored her for a while, she took the GED test. I paid for it, and she passed it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is where I need to be, because it was such fulfillment in helping somebody else other than myself.
Right.
So that's kind of how we started out.
Okay, that is excellent. Okay, so when you started out, so you went from helping one individual. So how did you actually come to want to start your own nonprofit?
Well, I have been looking around, and I went through a couple different nonprofits. And as a single mom myself, I remember the time before I had the job that I had at that point where, I wasn't really making ends meet, and I was in school, and it was just really hard for me. But I was running into a lot of barriers, because what happens is when you're over the poverty level, they're not willing to help you.
The working poor is what they call it.
Exactly. And you have to be 200% under that poverty level to get assistance.
Right.
So if I'm working, then I had, enough income to go over that poverty level, but still not enough to pay daycare and things.
Right.
And the waiting list at that time to help you with assistance for daycare was 2 years down the line.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I have to do something. So I called around some nonprofits, got some information, called United Way, set myself up to be a volunteer. They never called me back. I filled out the information, went to the orientation, didn't call me back. I went to another local nonprofit, talked to them about volunteering to see what we could get done for the people in the community, and they just weren't as passionate about it. It was a hard time. Like, they were friendly people, but they just weren't getting the job done. The results weren't there.
Okay.
So
Not to your satisfaction.
Yeah, not for exactly,
right.
not
Okay.
for my satisfaction. And they were actually having a hard time at that point trying to stay afloat,
Right.
because they were doing a lot of stuff free, but once their budget ran out, they couldn't do anything else.
Right.
And that budget runs out. It's a lot of people that need, so
Right.
it runs out
Right.
pretty quickly.
Right.
And at that point, I didn't understand that, so I said, okay. So I started looking up nonprofit help in the state of Georgia, and it brought up Georgia Center of Nonprofits. So I called and I contacted them, and I said, okay, I want to learn about starting a nonprofit.
Okay.
So I went through the class with Benny Boswell, the president at that time of Wachovia Community Affairs. And I just, he talked and I understood, and I was just like, okay. And he gave me a lot of handouts and a lot of resources. And he said, you're passionate about what you're trying to do, but it's going to take more than passion. It's going to
Right.
take research. It's going to take you getting out there and doing the groundwork and walking around and talking to people. But if you are willing, then I'm willing to help you. And I said right then and there, I'm willing, whatever it takes.
Okay, so how long ago was that from today?
That has been a year. It actually it'll be a year on the 16th of November that I went to that first class at GCN.
Okay, so tell us where you are right now. And guys, I am in a beautiful office. We're near the Perimeter Mall, Peachtree, Ashford Dunwoody. Beautiful office. I was so impressed when I walked in. So tell us about your space, how you came to have this space, and where you are right now in terms of fundraising, what you're doing, how much money are you raising, what are you able to do for the community?
Okay.